How does doing business change us without changing our capabilities? It doesn't. It just doesn't. Once again, we're getting in our own head, we're getting in our own way, we're giving excuses why things can't happen. In actual fact, I think motherhood makes us really good at organisation because we've got to get everything done. So your skills are your skills, right? And you will implement those skills with your kids and you'll implement your skills with your work. I don't believe in life balance. I just think it's life, right? And in life, there are highs and lows, ups and downs, sadness and anger. And in that, you've got to balance it all. You've got to think about, what are your spikes? Yes, you need to take time off. Yes, you need to recharge your batteries. Yes, you need that time to spend time with your kids. But does it change your skills or diminish or increase? It only does it if you say it does it. If you find a way that it doesn't, then it doesn't. One of the biggest questions I get asked is, how did I manage being a mum and being in business, right? And the honest answer is I did it really badly, right? I was the parent that parents used to hang out with to feel good about their parenting, right? I have got some of the most amazing dodgy parents stories, from leaving my kids at school to, I won't go into there. Luckily, they can't take them off me because they're too old. However, they've all worked out. Good news is they've all worked out. The reality is it's not easy, right? And quite often we feel like we're doing everything wrong, right? We feel like the work's suffering because of the focus on the kids are suffering because there's a focus on the work. The reality is it's okay, right? Guilt doesn't serve you. I was a happier woman because I was a working mother. And other people don't want to work, that's fine. But for me, that gave me so much joy. I found I was better at home for it. Don't ask my kids that, I'm not sure if they'll say the same thing. But I think the key thing, my kids had a really interesting life because I was a working mum. I always had a toy box in my office. They would travel with me. They had experiences, and I set an example for them of hard work and how to get ahead that I think you can't underestimate. The amount of guilt that women come and tell me that they've got, I mean, seriously, get over it. The kids will be fine. I was talking to my husband the other night about how I was raised, and I was raised as this kid that was like, never told anything, had complete freedom, and you work out all right. I look at my 4 kids and all those kids are really good humans, because even though, sure, they'll tell you some stories, but fundamentally we instilled values, we instilled things like manners and love and respect, all of those fundamentals, right? And I would do things because I like systems that would help. And so you can take some of these tips if you like. So the first thing I did was, if it was their birthday, they never had to go to school. Because the reality is, it will not affect anything. People get so caught up in, they need to go to school because these are the rules. Rubbish. Kids will not remember school day to day, but they'll remember the spikes. The other thing I did was, I said you could have a special day. Once a year, you can pick a day and I'll take the day off work and we'll do something just for you. The other thing I would do, and I think it was very valuable, is when they come of age, and whatever that age is, whether it's 13, 14, 15, just do one-on-one, go off, whether it's a mum and daughter or mum and son or son and whatever, right? Just do it. So they're the times that the kids remember. They don't remember the Monday to Friday. So, I read the whole Harry Potter book to my kids because I was really feeling like I was just so in my head that I didn't have the time. Now, I must admit, I got into the Harry Potter books and I would read them, and then I'd really want to know what happens next chapter, and I would read the next chapter and they were so asleep. So I had to reread that chapter. I think the key thing is, though, you find your own method that works for you. Now, my son did come to me once when he was, I think, 25. And I said, what is it that, you're frustrated about your upbringing? And he said, I didn't think you were present a lot when I was growing up. You were there, but you weren't present. And you know what I said to him? I said, you are 100% correct. I was a 33-year-old, never in business before, running this absolute monster of a business, having no idea what I was doing but learning. I am human, I am flawed. Did you always feel loved? Yes, I always felt loved, right? I can't go back. You can't go back. You can't change it. I am a woman of 60, right? I am so much wiser and so much more knowledgeable than I was at 33 with 3 little kids at home, right? So even if you do go, gee, I could have done it better, which we always could, and so you could, right? Let it go. Let it go. And what can you do today going forward? That actually is all that matters. So to summarize, parenting's hard. And the other thing is, it's very hard to give advice to someone because no one has had, your individual child with its own nuances and desires and dreams and skills, right? Only you know what's the best for your son or daughter. But be kind to yourself too. And also remember, we're human too. We want joy, we want love. And there is a period of time when they're little that sucks the life out of you and you do lose yourself. Know that it does come back. And now I have this amazing relationship with my children, but it's just different. So be kind, and guilt doesn't serve you. Hey, and good luck. I find that women, and I am totally generalizing, women tend to never push for a raise. They tend to sit back and wait to be recognized. And I think as business owners, we need to acknowledge that and don't just let various people in your business, and it could be a man too, so it's not necessarily just women, not be rewarded appropriately for what they do and not be recognized. Just because someone is more squeaky than someone else doesn't mean they should get more money or they should get more praise or they should get things. One of the things in one of our businesses is full of working women. They have complete flexibility. Quite often we don't call or ask them anything or set meetings between 3 and 4 because it's school pickup, right? So we work through that, and consequently we get the most amazing employees who are loyal and incredibly talented because we give them that flexibility. So what my advice to you is find a company that values that, right? It only limits you if you choose it to limit you. Do I believe people underestimate women who have got children in business? 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 100% that was the case. And not all, some people were smart enough to acknowledge talent comes from the brain, not from the womb. But now, not seeing it. The amount of senior women I'm coming across in lawyers, in CEOs, in chair, in all of that who have got a family and have managed it, have now broken any preconceived ideas that women can't do it. And also the other thing is, when you have children, often there's a father involved, right? Not always, but often there's a father. Why can't they do it, right? Same. So I think now that we've got to a point where it's okay for a man to stay at home and a woman goes out and work. It's okay for women to actually have an afternoon off to go and watch their son play soccer. All of it is just okay. It is okay, and it's not now a taboo for women to be mothers and work. And if you happen to be working for a dinosaur who still thinks that, get another job, because most people aren't like that. How do I go from can I do that to how can I do that? It's one word, right? The reality is there is nothing we can't do. Nothing. Okay, maybe not brain surgery. I wouldn't recommend that. But we are only limited to what the limits we put on ourselves. So if we say, oh, I can't, guess what? You can't. If you say, how can I? Suddenly it opens a world of possibilities. It's like, oh, how can I? Oh, who do I know? Actually, I didn't think of John. John's great in that. I can go buy him a coffee. Gee, I wonder if I'll try that on ChatGPT, see if that can help me, or one of the other AI platforms that I can use. Or is there someone in the business can help me? I think we're in a world now that if there is not a podcast, a AI tool, a person, or something you can get the answer, then it's probably a question not worth asking. Once again, stop getting in your own way. If you say you can't do it, you can't. That's the only difference between being able to do it and not being able to do it, is the way you think. So for anyone who's looking at this and going and having a moment of, can I do it? Change that word to how, because it can be done. It's just up to you to do it. And that is not a female-centric question. That's everybody.